A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, hard work. Scott Walker used all of those traits to make his childhood dream come true. Born and raised in Jefferson Parish, Scott Walker grew up emulating his father, longtime radio personality Bob Walker, the oldies king. By the time he was old enough to walk, he had a microphone in his hand. After graduating from Brother Martin High School, Scott headed to the University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg. And before he even received his diploma, he'd landed his first job as a reporter.
Scott Walker joins us with sports. And Scott, how did Peyton Manning look tonight?
Peyton Manning looks a lot like his dad Archie, you know.
Scott and his young family spent the next decade bouncing around the Gulf Coast as he pursued a career in television journalism. From Jackson, Mississippi to Biloxi, then Mobile, Alabama, where he famously became part of one of the internet's first viral videos.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood.
In 2009, Scott returned home.
This station, its people, its mission means so much to the city. And that's why I feel so honored to be part of WDSU.
Being a newsman in New Orleans was more than just a job. Scott was now providing important information to family and friends. He was telling stories about people he knew and cared about.
You can't leave out the French Quarter when you're talking about New Orleans, and the pedicab's a great way to get around. Unlike his plodding pace on Bourbon Street, the NOPD stables here at City Park give Satan's War a chance to reconnect with his past. So on any given night, Hollywood is right over here behind the Oyster Bar, shucking from the beginning of his shift to the end.
Over the last 9 years, Scott's been on the front lines for every major news story in southeast Louisiana.
What started as a peaceful Sunday morning quickly turned violent.
He was on the ground in Grand Isle, getting answers after the BP oil spill.
I'm going to go and try and talk to a worker under the tent. Can I do that?
No.
He's asked elected leaders the tough questions.
You say you're not in the blame game, but you were very critical of the population in general for voting down the millage.
A supporter of former Saint star Steve Gleason and the work he and his foundation do with ALS, Scott was one of the first locals to take part in the Ice Bucket Challenge.
I will challenge Norman Robinson.
Reporting on Gleason became a true passion project for Scott.
And this is such a big deal for Steve's family and friends.
He traveled to Park City, Utah, and the famed Sundance Film Festival, producing a documentary about the making of the feature film entitled Gleason.
Steve Gleason can no longer speak, but his message has never been louder. He can no longer walk, but no one embraces his path more.
A lifelong Saints fan and season ticket holder, Scott has truly enjoyed opportunities he's had to cover the black and gold. Being on the field as the team won its first Super Bowl, telling viewers about the emotion of that moment, is one of the highlights of his career.
1,000 Saints fans that refuse to leave. They're hanging out, they're cheering.
Scott, his wife Jennifer, and their two boys, Jack and Beckett, plan on calling New Orleans home forever. So Scott has invested in making our community a better place to live.
Started with a goal of $5,000. We raised it to 10, then 20, then 30, and now before it's all said and done, we might hit $50,000.
While Scott has worked hard to earn your trust and respect and appreciates that you welcome him into your homes via the television every night, there is a lighter, more playful side to Scott many don't always get to see.
How long it takes a peep to explode in the microwave.
And with that, it's time to say goodbye to our friend and colleague. But goodbyes can sometimes be sad, so let's just say hello. Hello to the new adventures for Scott Walker.